Hello and welcome to the Formula of One. This is my first upload on my YouTube channel. It won't be an introduction due to unfortunate events at the weekend in the F2 feature race, which we lost the life of Antoine Hubert. Now I'll get straight to it. Antoine Hubert was a 22-year-old French driver, drove for the Ardent team. He'd won 2 F2 races and he was the current F2 champion. He was good friends with Leclerc, Russell, Ocon, Albon, where they raced through karting for God knows how old, probably about 6, 7, 8 years old. And there's no question that he was a top driver. Now, I just want to get into the events of what happened, and I want to also start by saying that I've looked at it a few times from a few angles, and there's no blame to be put on any of the drivers. There's nothing any of them could have done. There was no dangerous driving involved, nothing. So anyway, it all started on the second lap when Giuliano Alesi lost the control of his car going up through El Rouge and into Radion. He clipped the tyre wall on the left and went across the track, and it spun, but he kept going straight. But obviously drivers coming up behind at a good 150 miles an hour. And this caused, let me just get my facts right, Hubert and Bouchon to go onto the overrun at the top of Radion to the right. You'll see that's where the tyre wall is that Hubert eventually hit. Now Hubert had to go to the right to avoid Bouchon and then careered into the tyre wall on the right. By this point, Alesi's going past on the racing track forward, but I don't think he's under power because I think the whole end of his car was pretty much redundant. At this point, when he hits the barrier at an angle, front right first, it's heavy crash, but we're looking okay. Until another unfortunate event happens when, sorry, I've got to make sure I get this right. Yeah, who is it? He comes up. Yeah, unfortunately, one Manuel Correa gets a puncture. Now, I didn't notice this at first, but he's got a puncture definitely by the top of Radion, and it's definitely gone by a matter of 75, 100 metres before he hits the car of Hubert, who's rebounded back, not onto the track, but onto the runoff area that's been put there, obviously. Now, there's the incident of Alesi losing it. No blame there. You can't blame a driver for losing. He's not doing it on purpose. Nothing, like, forget that. Rule that out. Then you've got Bouchon, who then forces Hubert to go to the right suddenly. Bouchon's not got time to see him. He's not trying to hit Alesi. So then he has to go wide, then Hubert has to go wide. Hubert unfortunately rebounds into the path of another car from a completely separate incident, who's got no control over his car anymore, and hits him in the cell, the impact cell, at a rate of knots. And to be honest, at first I thought, when I saw it from the TV, I thought one of them may have lower limb problems, shall we say, but the other one looks all right. But then the way that the floor came off the car, and let's not get into that. Anyway, where was I going with this? Let's get into the corner safety and the corner itself. Now, El Rouge, let's go to modern history of El Rouge. I've written a load of stuff out about where it originated from, but we're not going there. Modern circuit was in 83, all right, yeah. It was cut down to 4.3 mile circuit, and it was still a formidable corner. Unfortunately, Stefan Beloff lost his life there in 1985 in a World Sports Car race, but there is plenty of quotes from drivers saying that he was taking a move on that was completely ridiculous to even try. But that's not taken away from the fact that the corner was still a naughty corner. In 1993, Alex Zanardi had a big crash there, and there was whispers about changing it because they still had the barrier right on the side of the track. There was no way you could run off anywhere. If you lost it, you're in a barrier, which Zanardi and later on at Radion, Filner and Zanardi, not Zanardi, Ricardo Zonta challenged each other to go through their full throttle in '99, and they both had spectacular crashes, and different crashes because they didn't hit anyone else. They just hit the barriers, destroyed their cars, but they were, as far as I remember, completely fine. Not to take away that was still a pretty hairy moment. Now there is a rumour, not a rumour, but there is something I've been hearing that they've opened up the angle of El Rouge, and there's a quote here from, where is it? Yeah, less harsh right-hander. The old El Rouge was fairly tight over the bridge, Joachim Mass, and that was a quote from the early 80s when they redone the track. So I believe they have opened it up. I can't find any schematics on the track to show this, but I'm pretty sure at some point in time it has been opened up. Now, what else can you do? They've moved the barriers away, they've put traps in, they've even put... You don't need sand traps at El Rouge, you need runoff area. I know it nullifies the corner if you do something wrong, but you're not going to lose any speed if you're hitting sand and skipping over into the distance. But you can't take away the character of the corner, but we're not getting into that now. This is just to see if there's anything that could be done, and there's not. There's an investigation going on at the moment, a manslaughter investigation, but that's just standard practice in Belgium when anyone is killed or in an accident where life's taken, and they've openly said that they're not looking at prosecuting anyone or finger point or anything like that. It's just a look into the accident. The FIA's got their investigation going on as well. So unfortunately my first videos had to be about this. I just wanted to clear up exactly what happened because it's not completely clear unless you look at some footage that you don't really want to look at, and I don't enjoy looking at it. I just want to know the facts about what's happened, and hopefully, well, I know what I've said is factually right because I'm not, well, look at it, because I don't BS about things like this. I'm not sure how to end this, but obviously thoughts and prayers with the families, all of the drivers involved, because if you cause an accident, you've got something in your head's got to play on you. But then again, I can't tell someone how to feel, but it's going to be a tough time. I thought cancelling the second race was a good idea. I thought running the F3 race was a bit dubious, but you've got to get back into the rhythm of a weekend if you're going to run the F1 race. Get everything, not back to normal, but a sense of regularity behind it, and push on through. I'm sure he wouldn't have wanted it to be stopped, in my opinion, and it was done with dignity, so I don't think there's any ethical answers to be had there. But yeah, the track was safe as it could be. It's just 5 incidents, that 4 of them separate, that led to tragedy. And you can't point fingers. I'm sure they'll try and do something about the safety, just don't go over the top, please. It's just unfortunately one of them things in my view. But we'll get into safety and things like that in other videos, because I don't want to be cashing in on someone's passing by blabbering on about things when there's other things that are more important to think about. So I'll hopefully see you before Monza, and adios.